Now before we get off to our adventure today, I just wanted to show you guys this. It's absolutely beautiful, and I don't know if you can see the green in this or not, but it's gorgeous. And my good little friend Kai gave me this, and it was such a wonderful thing while we were here at Weird Wild West. And it really brought a smile to my face, so I wanted to share this. I'm gonna be adding it to my little console right here where I have my bunnies very soon, but I have to get a gel pad for it first. But I did want to share it, so yeah, this is just something really super special. Now, many times on the channel I've talked about how the community within the van space is absolutely amazing, and I think that that's one of the biggest things that like always catches me off guard is whenever you have this wonderful group of people come together for an event like Weird Wild West and just really gel and have a good time. And not only that, but you meet some great, amazing, wonderful people and some amazing connections. But even with that, sometimes things can take you by surprise, and that certainly did. So Kai, if you're watching this, thank you. Thank you so much. Like, so much joy every time I see this. Thank you. Okay guys, we are at the Queen Mine Tours, and we're about to go deep within the inner workings of Bisbee. This is the copper mine, so let's go check it out. Okay guys, so we are in. We have a $14 admission fee, but then there's a lot of steps that are going to go into this. They do tours at various times throughout the day, so make sure you check in advance. Also, I do recommend reservations. We didn't have them today, so we were very fortunate that we're able to come along. However, on weekends it is packed, so you're not going to want to miss out on this just because you didn't make a reservation. But we have a good group with us today, and I cannot wait. This is going to be so fun, and look at all this. Look at all this. Oh, we get to dress up today, guys. This is gonna be fun. Okay, so before our tour, I'm taking like a little walkthrough of the location. There is a really neat film that's playing in this room called Discover Bisbee, but also there is this map. This shows all of the different parts of the various levels of the mine. In fact, the very one we're going to be going into. So right here, you can see what it all looks like. Very cool. Oh, but guys, it gets even better. Look at this. This is like a little mine shaft right here, and it's right next to this diorama area. The diorama area is so neat because you get to see what the mine looks like, the shafts, how they would have had to scurry through. Crazy stuff. Super cool. Let me show you. You know, I always like to come in and check out the different things that are available to us. So this is one of the things that they actually have at the tourism depot, and then also here talking about the mine tour. And it shows that this was one of the most productive copper mines of the 20th century. So now we're going to be able to don our lanterns, hats, and slippers and go deep within. This is going to be super fun. Okay guys, we're outside and I just wanted to show you what the little carts that we're going to be going into the mine look like. It's really neat. They do recommend that you wear closed-toed shoes and also come prepared because it's a little bit cold in there. And so I am in a t-shirt and I'll be probably okay because I have on some pants and I'm a little bit touched by the sun today. But if you're a person who trends more onto the cold side, definitely bring like a light something to wear over. I definitely recommend that. But check out these cars. These are so cool. Check this out. Unlike some of the different rides that we've gone on, these actually are like a bench that we will straddle over. That's going to be really, really neat. Oh no, we almost missed the tour, guys. We almost missed the tour. We're on our way. We're on our way. Ah! Okay guys, we're about to go up 36 steps. Straight up. Let's go.
Because it was back in 1878 and all they had was hand drills, shovels and wheelbarrows to get this out. They came in through this tunnel right up above here. They were probably following a little bit of ore and ran into this huge ore body that was here. Now copper comes in a ore body, gold and silver run in veins. But when you run into about 25% copper ore is what they were mining per ton. So when they ran into this, they found quite a bit of tonnage. Tunnel to get rid of their ore. As they came down, they went in through that tunnel to haul their ore out. Where's it at? It's right here. This one here. They put it in there. Boom. Turn it with their wrist. Hit it again. Turn it with their wrist. And that's how they got the round hole. Per ton grade of copper. At the time, they were mining 25% copper in this mine. Now this stope was here before that cross cut or that tunnel was put in. So what they would do is haul the ore either there or those tunnels went around to another cross cut back in the mine. And that cross cut had a shaft that went down and they dropped the ore down to that and haul it to, you know where the parking lot is? Right in the middle of the parking lot is the shaft for the old Czar mine. So they'd haul the ore over to the Czar and haul it out. Once they got this crosscut that we came in on done, then they would haul the ore out that way. Timbered stopes. And this is a crosscut. I mean, this is a square set system. And everything fits together. The posts notch into each other all the way around. You'd put your floor in and everything. Say, drill and blast. Here, what you would do is drill out your round and blast it. The next shift they came on, there was 2 miners in the day shift and 2 miners in the same place in the night shift. They would take these hangers, see this type of hanger here, and they would hang them off of the square set that they already had put in. They take that boom, it's a 12-foot boom, they'd boom it out into the blasted area. They'd put their ring, which is the top of the square set, onto the boom, put their lagging, which is 2x12, on top of that, and then they would block to the back. And that would make it safe for them to get over here and set up to muck the ore out. So, underneath the ore body, and then drive a raise up to the ore body. That's when the stope miners start. But it would drill. And it's also got a water hookup here to where to cut down the dust. Now before the machines come out with this, it would just dust the whole room. And a lot of miners were getting silicosis, emphysema from the dust. So they come out with one with the water jacket on it. There's a hole that runs down the middle of the drill bit, and the water comes out the end of the bit. Chutes right here, there's 1, 2, 3, 4 chutes. This is a transfer chute. All the ore that's mined up above, and 4th, 5th, 6th, and 7th level comes down through this raise that's back there. It's a big hole. It's about 20 foot wide, 15 foot deep, and it would take all the ore from up above, eventually come down through these chutes and into these cars. Now when they first started, they had these small 1-ton cars, and they'd have trammers, and the trammers would push these cars out. They were about 15 years old, 15 to 18 years old, and they'd push these cars all the way. So they decided to bring in mules. They trained the mules to pull 4 cars at a time. Now the mules lived down here from 3 to 5 years, depending on their eyesight. If a mule had their own stable and their own barn, they had their own veterinarian, they had the best food, and they were checked out once a day. Out there it says 46 on it. They used those motors all the way up until 1975 when they shut the mine down here. But they could pull about 32 to 3 ton cars. These machines over here, most of the time, before they came out with this, called the jack leg, they used these in the stopes. This is the one without the water jacket. This one has a water jacket, and they use these in the crosscuts also. Color the hole. And this is the best machine. They used this machine here right up till 1975. Well, come on back here, folks. And we'll go. Drill for a stope. You're okay. But if you're working in a crosscut, you'd want to make one more row of holes over here to get it wider, because it's going to be used as transportation. But anyway, after you get your muck out, you got your timber above you in place, you got your floor set on your square set, you start drilling, and you start drilling with this hole right here in the center. Now this is called a 5-hole burn. This hole's loaded with dynamite. These holes aren't. They're left empty. So when this hole goes off, it'll take out a chunk of rock about that big around and blow it right straight out. That way there's an empty space in the middle. Now each one of these holes go off a second at a time. Every second, one of these holes will go off. You start in the center with your primer and your stick of dynamite. This one won't go off, it's wood. Just letting you all know. You take and poke a hole in the side of the dynamite, take your primer, stick in there, then use some electrical tape or string or whatever you had to tie it tight. Then you put it in the hole and shove it back with a loading stick. This is a loading stick. Once you got it shoved to the back, the next stick, you take a pocket knife and slice it down part of the way, put that in there and tamp it as tight as you can into the back of the hole. And you continue that process. Once you get all your holes loaded, the primers are 12 foot long, 15 inches, and go to the next hole that you wanted to go off. And you use it as a measuring device, and you cut this primer a ½ inch longer than the first one. And this one would be a ½ inch longer than that one. Well, in 75, they didn't have the earmuffs, so we just used the ear protection we had, you know.
So how much dust was created then?
Okay, when it goes off, there's about 2 hours before the two shifts come to work. You blast 30 minutes going off, and then the dust settles during that 2 hours. When they come in, the first thing they do is wet everything down. By the way, the cager and the hoist engineer would communicate with numbered bells. Picked up their ore, and this thing has got a bucket on the front. It ran off of air, and that bucket will go all the way over and dump into the car that's behind them. Because the crosscut miners would run track all the way up to where they're going to drill. This rake here is how they got the ore out of the stopes. They'd run this slusher, drag this rake back and forth, and drag the ore into that raise that I was talking about that they moved up.
Okay guys, so the tour that we're on currently, super good information. So I'm going to be sharing a lot of the information right along with you guys. You're going to love this place. It's a really, really unique tour and very different than some of the others that we've been on previously. Okay guys, that was the mine tour. I hope you enjoyed coming with us. We had a really good time. I had some friends along with me and it was super, super fun. Of course, we have been hanging out in Bisbee, so make sure you check out my other videos here in the Bisbee area. And if you liked today's video, make sure that you leave a thumbs up, hit the subscribe, and I'll see you guys next time. Bye!